just going to click that. Alright, so we are now live and... well, not live, we're recording. Not streaming yet. So if in the far-flung future this ever goes live and sort of archaeologists look at this as the first fumbling attempts of a great media mega empire, please don't hold it against us.
Hi, Mum.
Indeed. So welcome. This is... how long do you think we've been playing this game now? I had a look at the logs and dug up the date of our first game. How long have we been playing Masks on Nyarlathotep?
A year?
I think a bit more than a year.
Yeah. Just over a year, yeah. So 27th of September 2023 was our first game. Those tentative steps into Peru to uncover the mystery of the Karasiri and the fat-sucking vampires. Spoilers. So it's been going a while.
Didn't rate those guys.
And so here we are, a year later, just under halfway through the campaign, so probably another year left. So a long way to go still. Halfway through, so about to finish off Egypt and head on to other places. So let's do a quick recap on last week. A couple of things happened. Our friend Ruby left us for a while. She's headed off to school, where she'll practice her reading and her spell casting and no doubt her pickpocketing, and hopefully return to us in later chapters. In the last episode, after the horror that you endured at the Mosque of Ibn Tilin, we all visited the Cairo Museum, and you guys confided a little bit in Ali Kafur and Dr. Ali Kafur, and that trust was paid back, and he too shared something with you. Anyone excited about what he shared?
I'm excited.
You're excited. You and Kirby are excited because you're now spellcasters.
Already was a spellcaster before.
Yeah, look, you could make smoke come out of your finger, but I think you've taken it up a step or two, right?
Oh yeah.
So, yes, the last Arabic translation of the Necronomicon. And you guys got to learn a few new things, and Afshin, you got to put that into practice when you got to the Clive Expedition, and you met a bunch of burly guards who were blocking your access to the dig site. You want to tell us a little bit about how you feel about this newfound spellcasting ability Afshin has?
I'd say he's pretty astounded. He's pretty amazed that it works, and he's not like... he certainly hasn't grown tired of having people believe his lies. That kind of thing.
Is Afshin
Like
someone who would
controlling
put this
people's
newfound power to misuse?
Probably. Maybe, but only for a little while.
So
And then he'd be like, oh, this is probably a bit naughty. Maybe when he's like, I need a cigarette or something, he will give me a cigarette. You give me a bite of that burger. Prima nocta with your burger. Well, not quite that, but eating it.
right.
Anyway.
And you're running with the cult of Bast, the Temple of Bast, and sort of having all of these validations of this, occult world beyond the one that you see. Has this sort of affected your outlook? Are you a little bit more concerned maybe that your heart would weigh a little heavier when your time comes?
I think that he is a curious enough fellow that now that he has seen some proof of wild supernatural stuff, for instance, he summoned a catman to beat up a cloud dragon, which was pretty weird, or whatever the hunting horror was. Big, boogeyman. So he was like, well, that's pretty weird, and that saved my life, and it was really great. And he's got a magic sword now that he stole off a dead priest.
Correct.
and well, if it did, wizard maybe. And all the cat shenanigans. I think he's like he's pretty spooky. Has been other phenomenon that he's experienced? I don't think so. He knows that there's something up with what these guys are onto, and it's pretty believable. They got attacked by cultists in the desert, which wasn't very nice.
Indeed.
Yeah. So he's on board, and he's curious to see what he can do with it. But he's not really got much direction. He's just sort of seeing what he's doing with it.
No, it's what about Perry and Kirby? Have been with us since the beginning. They've had 3 run-ins now with hunting horrors. Lots of stuff has happened since those first few episodes over a year ago. How's this? How do you think this? Just thinking about your specific characters and how you came into this game. How do you think that would? How do you think that would sort of change your outlook or weigh on you, or what insights do you think your characters might have at this point as you embark on yet another high-risk endeavor?
It feels like
Let's start from the top. Let's hear from Perry and then from Dr. Kirby.
Perry's kind of he's very wary of everything now. Had a freak out moment in the temple, if I recall correctly. And I've since kind of been wary of reading books. Not much of a reader, but doesn't trust the vibe that he gets from some of the stuff that we run into. So the books and just strangely the masks that I've tended to keep. I don't know why, but seeing hunting horrors for 3 of them now. There is quite horrified, really, by them. Doesn't really want to run into them again. However, being said that,
Perry is a big game hunter, of course. In the backstory, is used to hunting animals, and
that's right. Having said that, he's a man of action. Likes to hunt, so as much as the horrors scare the bejesus out of him, he's not wanting to see them again, but he's trying to psych himself up. So, if he can take one out, he'd be pretty chuffed with himself.
3 encounters.
He definitely wants to see some action.
And no hunting horror trophy yet for the wall.
No. I don't know how that's going to go, having a hunting horror trophy on the wall. Hey, you would explain that to guests at my home, but...
Pride of place above the bar, conversation piece. Dr. Kirby, the only one who came into this adventure believing in the supernatural, now completely validated, a spellcaster, well on his way to mastering some of these occult abilities.
That's validated is a good word. Kirby, in a way, can't. I'll not say he can't wait, but he would love to prove those people at the university wrong. Those people who doubted long before, that caused him to go and basically leave the university and then become a bookseller, because his theories were too wild. He knows what he saw in Africa, and seeing things, the chantings and the rhythms, and seeing that they are actually true, it's rewarding itself, but also scares him at the same time. So because
at some point, are you going to do sort of a big reveal? All the people who didn't believe you're going to finally show them?
He's struggling with the idea, because there's a bit of an intellectual pride and something about if you study, you want to share, but at the same time, he's also getting reluctant, because the more he knows, the more things seem to be messier. And what he's feeling at the moment is a bit of
it's like the quicksand thing. Like you move, and you don't get anywhere. Seems like if things are still moving, we can never get ahead. So we learn. We thwarted the events in England, or so we believe. But still, things are moving along regardless. It's almost like we didn't do anything. Also, he's carrying a little bit of guilt because he lost 2 companions on the way. One of them being a fake doctor he was really trying to save, and he just saw him being torn in half, essentially. And deep down, he doesn't know if he's going to be next.
And then, just when you think you're ahead, you go and fumble learning a spell, and you feel
a fumble
this.
With 90, it's so hard, it hurts.
Yeah, and something changed. You felt something slip back into the game. Something dark, something you've encountered before.
Definitely. So that's he's at this point, I would say he's still in denial.
Yeah.
He has something, but until he has something that proves it, or something else happens, he's still, it was basically yesterday, right? In game time.
Yeah.
So he knows something, but he will initially try to brush it off until he gets serious about it, because
so
you haven't
shared this feeling with the others?
No, definitely not.
All right.
I mean, it is mind warping, bending things already. So.
All right. So let's see what happens with that. All right. So you got to speak to Dr. Henry Clive, the expedition leader. You barged into his tent, which put him off guard a little bit. He was quite dismissive of you, wanted you to leave, did not give you a lot of information about the mummy or the dig, validated a couple of things maybe you'd heard from Kafur. You also met Martin Winfield, who is his number 1 on this dig, a lean, tall, smug-looking man with a cruel face, who sort of barged in and demanded you leave. We're going to back things up a little bit from last time, because also in the room is our drunken archaeologist, Jan Willem van Oevelen, who is desperate to get back into the good books of this group of people. He was, as you remember, released from his duties as an archaeologist. Kirby, you suspect it's probably because he's not a very good archaeologist, but he's desperate to prove himself, prove his worth. He's got no recollection of what happened with Bast. That's been taken from him. However, he's keen to do a series of introductions. So we'll pick up there with Dr. Henry being quite dismissive of seeing this ruddy-faced individual in the tent again. But Martin Winfield is not happy to see him at all. And if you remember, there was a link between Martin sending him on the Merry Goose Chase to the Temple of Bast. And so Martin is like, what are you doing here? And Jan Willem is obsequious, and he's like, "Oh, these gentlemen, they want to learn about the dig. They're renowned archaeologists." He's pointing to you, Kirby. I said, we could have a conversation. They've got interesting information and theories they want to share with you. Winfield's not having any of it. I'm going to give everyone an opportunity, maybe to think about how they might tackle the problem. Maybe give a slightly different take on sort of where we left it last time. What is everyone thinking? Are you kind of in this really awkward social situation where you weren't introduced properly? The spell, saw you propelled into this tent. and people are sort of on their back foot. Does anyone want to kind of pick up with maybe trying something different?
Well, maybe I will try to dominate Mun to get him to introduce us, introduce himself.
Who are you going to try and dominate?
Is it Martin?
Martin Winterfield?
Yeah.
You can certainly try. So why don't you pull up your spell and give a quick read on exactly sort of what the mechanics are, and we can see if that would work.
Bends the will of the target to that of the caster. For the spell to take effect, the caster must succeed in an opposed power roll with the target. If successful, the target obeys the commands of the caster without exception until the next combat round concludes.
Alright, so remember, a spell is also going to have some kind of a verbal component. So you will need to cast a spell in the presence of everyone in this room.
Holy shit, I'm really sorry. There's like some wild chaos going outside my house.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make sure that everything's alright. I'm sorry.
Alright, well,
Right back.
no problem. While Michael is taking the pitchforks to the angry hordes, he's thinking about casting a spell. There are some potential repercussions about doing that. What else? What is everyone else thinking?
Perry's not quite sure with the whole situation. He's holding back, but his hands are kind of almost not on his pistol or holding Mary, because Mary is still around. For those that don't remember, but he's sort of bracing himself for something to possibly go sideways. He doesn't have a good feeling about this.
So you're just kind of bracing yourself, ready for the proverbial poop to hit the fan.
Yeah, kind of sort of like not backing away, but just kind of just slinking a little bit back into half a step back, very, very slowly. Bracing myself. Got my Mary's with me, so she's quickly accessible if needed.
And for those future viewers who may or may not one day watch this, Mary is?
Mary is my Bowie knife.
Your Bowie knife.
I trust my
Your
trusty Bowie.
Named Bowie knife.
Yes, she comes in handy when you're in a bit of a bind.
All right. Tiago, Kirby.
Kirby is a bit, I won't say a loss, because he didn't, as I said, he didn't like the way this is going. He didn't like Dr. Clive at all. He understands people, normally you don't barge into a dig, especially if you're doing discovery, but he's torn in between showing what he knows, showing his credentials effectively, and being recognized. So it's more, he has to basically say a lot and not show for it. So it's kind of complicated, because if I all of a sudden appear like this amazing archaeologist of, not say renown, but maybe even disgrace in the field, I could have been known a little bit, not in the same degree, but they could easily tie it back to, if he's involved with a certain cult going back in England, he could easily tie two and two together. Mm-hmm. So I'm already under false pretense. So it is a bit of a complicated approach for Kirby. So right now he's going to just possibly try to be interested in congeniality, I guess, is going to be the play. It's not a good play, but he's going to try to show like, oh, that's nice, I'm trying to do my best and things like that, and see if you might break this guy, or maybe get this other guy to trust us up to a point, because things don't add up, specifically as we discussed that the cruel guy who sent the drunken Dutchman
So Winfield, yeah.
Stray, yes, was, I would say, clearly trying to get rid of him or something, because if it is indeed a great find, why wouldn't he do so himself?
All right. So two of you are doing a sort of a wait and see. Perry, you're doing a. I've got a feeling things are going to go south. Afshin, are you going to go ahead and cast the spell? Remember, it is going to be an incantation, and then you need
So it
to
won't be
tell.
subtle at all.
It won't be subtle at all. You will need to cast it, and then you will need to tell Winfield to do something. So your best
Okay.
bet would be to get him alone. Otherwise, you'd be literally doing it in front of everyone.
Right. He sort of considers whether he can do it without anyone noticing, but he feels like he's a bit too nervous to be able to do this new magic spell that he's only seen a couple of times. To actually do it perfectly, he sort of hasn't got the nerve for it yet.
How long does it take? Because I'm assuming I saw the first time, by the way, even though my connection was off, Stuart, so I don't know when he cast it the first time.
So
Is it long, small? It's like...
So it is. It requires, reading this. It requires the caster to be able to do the incantation, provide a clear verbal instruction, and the effect is instantaneous. So, it'll happen within a round, let's say, if it's a short command. But it'll be very clear to everyone in the room that you're casting a spell or doing something odd.
But we are already off the room, right?
We've backtracked a little bit. You guys are in the room. We picked up in the tent still.
Okay, so we have myself, but we don't have Clive with us, do we?
We got Clive, we got Winfield, we got Van Hoevelen, and the three of you. And remember, there's a very nervous cultist outside who is in a lot of trouble for just allowing people to march into Clive's tent. What I guess I'm looking for is how would you change the narrative, right? These are archaeologists, or at least people with the pretense of being archaeologists. What reason would you have? What urgent business would you have to try and change this situation if you were to do that? Otherwise, as I said, you're welcome to just follow Clive's directions and sort of leave and maybe see if you can poke around the camp. That's also perfectly valid.
Yes, there's also one thing I can't forget. I was suffering from heat stroke.
Correct.
Yes.
There's that. That was part of our it wasn't exactly our cover because it was true.
Yeah. You've had some water.
I succeeded a check, so the next one I actually can get an advantage when I do the next one to see if it's not permanent. But I'm still not operating 100%.
No.
There's that.
No, you're not.
Can I try and they don't seem to recognize Kirby, right? They just see him as some old.
Yeah, they don't recognize you. They do recognize Van Hoevelen and you're very curious as to what he's doing back. Winfield in particular looks not happy to see him, but clearly doesn't want to say too much in front of people he doesn't know, and so
I think that if Shinna's going to try to be the wingman and might try to just introduce and say Kirby, this guy is a great sage who knows a lot. We only seek like-minded individuals who fuck it. Whoops. He's like, he's like one of you. He's a learned man. You do not give him hospitality.
All right, I like it. I like where you're going.
Yeah.
You're trying
Fine,
to
fast
talk
maybe.
up Kirby a little bit as a scholar. How are you not
Yeah, like
respecting
why,
the scholar?
are you guys being so rude to this guy? He's a wise teacher who's come from he's come from he's come across the sea.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I'll
It's probably the
say,
long way.
give me
Or am I doing your cover? Do I even know who? I don't even think I know you as Kirby. I know you as
You know he's an
You're.
archaeologist. You know
Yeah.
him by the pseudonym that he's traveling under.
Yeah, I don't think we agreed if if we shared everything. I think we actually might on last game decided we shared everything to make it playable.
I think he probably
Yeah.
just still calls you Habibi, and that's it.
Oh,
Or
Regardless of who you are.
Algernon, yeah. And he calls
Yeah.
Perry
Yeah.
Tom, but yeah.
Yeah.
But for the sake of sort of playability, let's say that you've given everything you've been through here in Egypt, maybe you've earned a modicum of trust and have been sort of let into the inner circle. All right, so why doesn't Afshin give me a fast talk? Let's see how
Oh
successful.
boy, here we
Let's
go,
see how
baby.
successful he is in talking up Kirby.
So, whereabouts is Kirby from again? Like, where's his hometown?
Kirby? Are you on
Yeah,
mute? I believe it was the UK, from memory.
Oh, yes.
And he was a guest lecturer in the US.
Something those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never, can be that I never decided where I was from. I would just say that I was.
A urine.
Yeah, it's one thing for real. Is we never drew this.
All right, make a
No,
decision
no,
now. Where are you from?
Yeah.
Where's your hometown? Where do you call home?
I'm going to have to stay the US because otherwise I would have to play differently in the UK because I would be more local in a
Got
way.
it.
I once,
So let's say
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
Got it.
I once knew a man from Nantucket. Yada yada.
Oh, wow. Extreme
Wait.
success.
I might spend that 5 luck. I've only got 17, but I might do it. To
can
fast
do
talk
luck
the
rolls.
shit out of these two old
Yeah,
adventurers.
yeah. You've paid enough attention to maybe some of what Kirby's been doing to really talk him up. There are
And I'll
things.
also stroke work their egos too by saying, like, the wise dudes, you guys
Hey.
should be hanging out.
I think that's a role you even convinced me.
So, at the end of
My friend
this,
here is a real doctor.
at the end of this dialogue, Clive and Winfield are fairly convinced maybe they've been a little hasty, and they have some visiting scholar or dignitary from the US who has made the journey in person and suffered potential heat stroke to get here, to be part of this dig, maybe to see what's going on. Kirby, what do you think? Thinking about Kirby, what might you talk up as your sort of credentials or things you're interested in? Is it the mummy that went missing, perhaps? Are you sort of a scholar on the trail of information? What angle do you want to take?
I'm going to go with the original angle, which was similar to Professor Variation. Basically, I was on leisure for a time and then saw the news of an actual archaeological find taking place, something that hasn't happened in years, for a good while, an actual mummy, and the fact that it disappeared, they've left me consternated and feeling like I want to help whatever happened here and share a bit of my expertise or see what I can do to this day because it was an amazing find, so to speak. But that was my motivation to break away from my vacation and pleasure seeking of learning Egypt to actually and maybe I'm needing here. So it was more like a call.
I like it. And so let's say that Clive is intrigued to hear what you have to say, and is probably also a little curious as to what information you're interested in. And he'll invite you. There are 2 chairs on the other side of his desk, and Kirby, he'll invite you to sit and rest. He sort of waves, one of the little attendants over to sort of bring the water. The water you were given initially was just, water that had been in a jug, but you're given some much nicer refreshments as you sit. And he'll turn to Winfield and say, "Why don't you give our friends here a look around the dig?" And at that, you can see Van Hooveland's eyes light up. He's so happy to, like maybe he's going to be back, and he's super excited. Winfield will draw the tent flap aside and gesture to you and Perry, Shin and Perry, to come with him, while Kirby, you stay behind and have a chat to Dr. Clive. All right. So, what do you guys do? You happy to do it?
Really quick grab it.
Define which guys we're talking about first.
Perry, you inclined to go, or you keen to stay and listen?
No. I'll go and if they're offering us a tour,
cool.
Then we'll have a wander.
All right.
I don't like where it's going, but okay. I have a feeling I'm uneasy about it, but I'll go for a wander. I don't want to.
Not every time we split the party do bad things happen.
They never ever do. It's always a good thing splitting the party.
That's good. All right. So let's say you are led out through the tents. You remember you made a beeline straight for the large tent. You now there is a rudimentary road that sort of runs through camp. And Winfield, leads the way. You can see he's really trying to brush Van Hooveland off, and Van Hooveland's doing his best to be all, can I help? How's James doing, and Agatha, and he's really trying to busy himself. As you pass a bunch of the tents, you see that there is very much a central group of tents that are a lot more, well appointed, nice tents, large tents, and then sort of further down the hill there are a bunch of smaller tents which might be for some of the support staff for the dig. Down below you can see, it looks like, to your untrained eye, Perry, not being an archaeologist, just like any other dig you've maybe seen or read about. They're all sort of stones being surfaced. Workers are in abundance, sort of crawling over and sort of excavating and laying out lines and bits of string and stuff to mark and demarcate parts of the dig. You see in one area there appears to be sort of a bunch of wooden struts that are being assembled, some kind of lifting mechanism and ropes maybe to lift some stone. The workers will give you a wide berth. They don't seem to want to come near you. You detect maybe they're a bit afraid of sort of Winfield being there. And as you walk, he turns to you, Perry. It's a little bit dismissive of Shin for whatever reason, but he's like, tell me, where have you come from, and how do you come to accompany your friend?
Just racist thing in the comment. Well, we've been travelling together on and off together for some time. Travelling the world. I like to seek out fame and fortune. Not too educated on the archaeology front, but I originally hail from Canada. Born
Canada?
there, but raised in the US.
Oh, what? And if you're not into the archaeological side of things, what brings you to the middle of a dig in the middle of nowhere, Egypt? It's a long way to... Long way from
Some
here,
would
anyway.
say, I think, what's the word for it? Some would say it's wanderlust. I can't sit still. I gotta travel. I gotta see everything. And I have this unusual fascination of the things that I see on my travels, and it's the vastness of all these sorts of digs and wonderful finds that my companions come across. And I like a bit of adventure as well. So
Your companions make a habit of traveling around and finding interesting things. What? Give me an example. Where have you been recently?
not so much of a habit. I come from London, just visiting some friends. But I don't take too much interest in what they find. I found this lovely scarf though, back in the main town. It's quite a find, I thought. But no, they don't. As far as I'm aware, they don't do much of the treasure hunting as you would.
But you have found you found interesting things. You said like.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm an archaeologist myself, so I make it my living. But I'm certainly keen to hear other people's stories.
Yeah, peculiar looking vases and pots and knives and things like that. Nothing I would so write home about, so to speak.
Jan Willem at this point starts kind of trying to tell everyone about things he's found, and you can see this flash of like anger come over, and he like snaps at him, and he's like, "Can you just stay out of it?" And he turns back to you. "I apologize." And poor Jan Willem, he looks a bit like a whipped puppy. He's kind of like, he just sort of sullenly kind of walks behind, a bit crestfallen, and he's like, I'm so sorry. He really likes to barge in. Please, sorry, you were saying, you were telling me about the treasures you and your companions found.
Yeah. Random looking gold coins, vases, ornate knives, all the usual sort of.
So you do have an interest in archaeological fairs then?
No, I like shiny things.
Like shiny
treasure. If I can sell it for some money,
yeah.
Then,
Well,
I'm happy to make a quick buck on the side. It's partly why I tend to hang around these sorts of things.
Well, we thought we had found a great treasure back in sort of Cairo on our last dig, but it wasn't to be. So who knows? Hopefully.
Do tell. What was it? Maybe I can sell it.
I was going to ask you something. Is Perry carrying the giant wooden mask?
I doubt he's been traipsing through the desert with the mask of Hayam. No, I think thankfully that is safely back.
It would be a giveaway, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's in my enormous box of holding.
And the golden mask as well, I assume. It's just a strange occurrence. We thought we had found the find of the century, an unopened burial chamber in the smaller of the three great pyramids, and archaeological find of the century, about to be written up for it, and then overnight a multi-ton sarcophagus was stolen from under our noses. Didn't look good.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it didn't look too good in sort of archaeological circles, and the Egyptian government saw fit to revoke our permits, and so here we are, Plan B, as they say. Bit unfortunate, you know how these things go.
Well, I've never heard of such a large object just vanishing. But, where do you suppose it would have gone? And what's this Plan B? What have we got here? So, more treasures, more gold, another sarcophagus.
Well, we are hoping that it is the funeral burial chamber of a lesser known ruler, one of the rulers who came up from Sudan during the fourth the Fourth Dynasty, just prior to the Fourth Dynasty. Not quite as great a
Perry's trying to
find.
make it look like he knows.
Not quite as great a find as we were hoping, but again, we've invested in this dig, and to return back empty-handed now would be unfortunate. And sort of at that moment, the scaffolding that you guys were looking on kind of partly collapses, and you hear shouting, and Winfield's like, he just rage, and he's like, excuse me, he's like barely, you can see there's like this barely controlled, I'll be with you shortly, I need to go and sort this out, and he sort of kind of stomps off down the hill towards this group of workers who are busily trying to fix this problem. So where you are, you're still in the group of some of the larger tents. There's movement. It's sort of the heat of the day, Kirby, you realize. So a lot of the tent flaps are ajar, but there's not a lot of people moving around. And you're free to take maybe a little bit of a look around. Jan Willem is still sulking, but he might have some ideas. Let's go back to our friend Kirby, who's sitting enjoying some refreshments with Dr. Clive. Clive has gone as the disgruntled, annoyed leader of this group. In his place is a more affable personality, someone who is trying to play to the idea of sort of civility and charm, now that perhaps you're a person of renown. And so he's kind of trying to dig into exactly what it is that brings you here. Like, what can he help you with? Are you writing some publication? What brings a person of such renown and esteem to the camp?
I'll just play basically what I said again. So let's play it off. I am not an old man as you know, but I have been away from the field for a while. I had an expedition early in my career wiped out. Basically, I was the only survivor.
Goodness.
It was here in this very continent, in Africa. It was interesting. Let's put it like that. I have seen many things. And
wiped out? Was it an ambush? Were you
I will seem reluctant a bit, but I'll just...
painful memories, I understand. Some things we don't talk about. We retain a stiff upper lip.
Yes, but the things that were found were incredible. However, I was never able to bring it to light. That's just me talking about my past. Sorry, I ramble a little bit. Things have never been quite the same since then. But nowadays, I decided to finally come back to Africa, but instead of, going to the same old place, I decided to actually know Egypt. I mean, we study this a lot, we hear about it a lot,
Indeed.
There's so many interesting things going on.
What a time to be an archaeologist with all of these wonderful finds, indeed.
But actually, it may surprise you. I am here on leisure. I'm here to actually see Cairo, see the places, see the sights, just like a tourist. I mean, with a keener eye, of course, but I wanted to see it, before, I get wrapped up in academia again, and you know how hard it is to organize a find or a dig or get somewhere else, even, with the bigger universities. There's funding, there is investors and all these things, and I sincerely don't want to deal with them. So I prefer to actually just enjoy for a change.
If you don't mind me asking, I mean, I understand the bureaucracy can be somewhat enormous, but Who typically funds your digs, Dr. Kirby? Well, you're probably not going on. You're Dr. Ferguson.
Oh, it was just most of my digs went funded through the university, basically. We never had actually true big digs, and that's.
Which university would that be?
Oh, I would say now I have last one Arkham, basically.
Miskatonic?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm familiar with it.
I know. I would expect
Not
to be.
known for the archaeology, though. To be fair.
They're not now. They are not now, and that's why our digs tend to be of the smaller size. But I was trying very hard to show that it was more of a worthwhile when tragedy stuck, unfortunately, and that's why not much have been given initially. So right now, I'm hoping
we can swap to a different scene if you wish. If you wish to go and welcome to home game. It's great. All right. Why don't you go and attend to Mini Nyarlathotep, and we'll go back to Perian of Shin.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to close the mic, but I'm going to block the camera so it doesn't destroy your little thing.
Very good, very good. All right, back to you. Yeah, so you're standing with a sulky Van Hoevelen in the middle of some tents. What are you guys thinking? You can hear Winfield sort of shouting from down below.
What is he shouting?
He's just yelling at the workers, telling them to fix things and what,
Does it look like they're digging up a building or anything particular? Like,
it looks like there's some large chunks of stone masonry that are trying to move. Exposed in the sand.
Is there like a way that I can roll like heebie-jeebies roll? Like, do I get a weird vibe from this place? Is that a thing in this game? Like attunement or something? We go like, where are we? What is this place?
Not really. I mean, if you were investigating something mythos related, there are rolls you could make.
But there's not like writing or hieroglyphs anywhere nearby that I could sort of try and figure out.
Not where you are now. No. Not where you are now.
Okay. I will have no idea anyway.
The tent flap pulls to one side near you, and you see an elderly woman look out. And she gestures to you, and the tent flap kind of goes back into place.
Is she,
both of us?
I'll say I've Shin saw this. Maybe Perry, you didn't. You just saw come at it, and you saw this.
At the same.
Yeah,
is she like a foreigner, or is she like?
Elderly Caucasian female.
Oh, it's the Queen. Hello, Your Majesty. I've heard great things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go.
You just caught this sort of waft of sort of white grey hair, and didn't see very much, but she sort of beckoned.
I'll say a greeting in her language.
Yeah.
Here you go.
All right. So you walk up to the tent. You going inside, pulling it aside, having a look inside.
Yeah, let's have a look.
You pull the flap aside, and there is an elderly woman standing near a table. You see now she's got sort of long grey-white hair, wearing comfortable, loose-fitting clothing, in a dress that's kind of quite floral. In this heat, she's
European.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And she's got this bright, vibrant sort of silk scarf tied around her neck. And the inside of this tent, there's just all sorts of like crystals and rocks, and you can see like there's what looks like a piece of driftwood with pendulums hanging from it, and candles, and it just looks so out of place. Takes you back initially, and she's like, come in, dear. I've been expecting you. Bring your friends."
Yeah, I look out the tent, and Boss Man's gone down the hole.
Yeah,
And
he's
it's
gone.
just the bros hanging out.
Mm.
Come inside, have a cup. Just put the kettle on.
Yeah, no, definitely. If there's tea to be had, she's already prepared it because she's
Yeah,
expecting
dude.
you.
I'd have been-
Perry doesn't think twice and just strolls on in. Bit of
Oh,
shade, bit of tea.
wonderful, wonderful. Take a seat. And she sort of bustles around you. Would you care for a biscuit?
Oh, yes, please, madam.
Oh, biscuits. And she bustles off and she brings back like a plate with some biscuits. And in place of a chair, she's got, those like, they're almost like Roman stools, those cross stools with the sort of the comfortable leather between. She's got one of those ornamental things, and she sort of sits down and sort of arranges her dress and her scarf and her shawl. And she's like, Jan Willem, I didn't expect to see you back. Good to see you. And Jan Willem's still sulking a bit, and he's like, Agatha, these are my companions, Tom Baker and Afshin. Gentlemen, this is Miss Agatha Broadmoor, who has, and you can see the way he says it is like, this is Agatha. She's kind of accompanied us since the beginning. It's a little bit dismissive of her in the way he says it. And she's like, I knew you'd be coming. I knew it. I just knew it. I had a dream. I saw you. Very dangerous time to be poking around. What?
Well, that's weird.
And then you see sort of Jan Willem roll his eyes and he goes, she thinks she's a psychic. She does readings for her, if you ask, but he sort of mutters under his breath, don't put too much credence in it.
Perry kind of just chuckles under his drinking his tea.
You've come.
Yeah, all right. I shouldn't take the bait. Come. You do seem like a smart lady to me, Your Majesty. Even smarter than they said.
Your Majesty.
You're in touch with the land. What do the spirits here say?
Oh, the spirits tell me is great danger about. Great danger. You've come about the mummy, haven't you? That's what they tell me.
I kind of.
Tell me about the mummy.
Yeah. Oh, you poor dears. You carry an air of sadness about you. You've lost some friends, haven't you? Recently.
Me?
She looks at you, Perry.
No.
You've lost some close friends. Oh, you poor dear.
Perry just stares at her, trying not to give away anything. Seeing how good she is.
Well, are you just going to sit there like a lump? Surely you've got questions.
Why? Who do you see? Who do you think these friends are? Tell me what you know. Indulge me.
She sits there for a bit and she goes, and literally in the spitting voice that you recognize to be a certain person who you knew right in the beginning, she says, Where is my pipe? I left my pipe around here somewhere. Goodness, my pipe is always going missing. She kind of
Perry
like,
just drops his cup of tea.
shh. Are you all right, dear? What seems to be the matter?
Haven't heard that voice in a long time. I'm assuming out of character, the voice that she's saying is
Elias, Jackson Elias, yeah.
Yeah,
And it would
like
be an expression you would have. He was continuously misplacing his pipe. It's something very signature that he would say often, because he would always lose his pipe.
Yeah. Is she is it in her own voice, or is she putting on the voice as well?
It's her voice, but the inflections and the accent are like identical.
Yeah. Perry definitely drops his cup of tea. It's just in like, oh, what the?
Oh, your friends are close by, dear. They watch over you. They know the danger you're in, and are guiding you where they can.
What danger? Do tell.
Oh, you've stepped into the hornet's nest here.
Here or somewhere else? Here, as in literally where we are now?
Don't play coy with me, young man. I know you know about the mummy. I know you suspect it is the Queen, Nitocris. I've seen this in my dreams.
I think this friend of ours. I think you should meet.
Oh, see the old one?
Yeah.
The one who still reckons he's got a modicum of martial prowess about himself, but tends to fall over a lot.
Perry's just that's Perry laughing, not just me. But
Yes.
yeah,
He's in danger as well. He must be careful what he says. Dr. Clive is a clever one, he is. One slip up, and he'll know you're here for the real reasons you're here.
Is that so?
It is, dear. It is.
Maybe we should hurry along and have a quick chat to our old friend.
There's someone I want you to meet first. Come with me. And she sort of stands up and gathers her clothes around her. And she leads you out to an adjacent tent. She pulls the flap aside and ushers you into the tent.
I go in cautiously. Is Ashin coming with me, or is it both of us that she's
I want to
ushering?
hear the mummy story first.
We'll talk about the mummy. Just quickly, we need to... She looks down the hill. He's going to be back soon, and we won't be able to talk properly when he gets back.
All right, old lady. Just don't get your knickers in a twist.
Come on, dear. It's hot out here. Flaps her scarf. Inside, you can see... so the commotion and the conversation has drawn another individual to the tent flap. This is a shorter, stouter man, dressed in what looks to be fairly typical of the period archaeological clothes. Sort of a friendly, open face, curious expression. And he's like, Agatha, who do you have here? And she's like, quickly inside, come on. She bustles you in. And this individual's like, oh, Van Hoevelen, I see you're back. And Van Hoevelen's like, James, a pleasure as always. And introductions are made. This is James Gardner. So he is one of the other archaeologists on the dig. And she's like, right now, we need to talk quickly before our time is up. And she turns to James. She's like, our friends here are come to ask about the mummy, and I think we should be open with him. And he's like, whoa, all right. And he sort of indicates for you to take a seat. What about the mummy? He says. He sort of looks at you, Perry, and Afshin. A little bit suspicious, but he's open to what you might possibly ask him.
No. I'm curious. I've heard the rumours of this enormous thing mysteriously vanishing.
Indeed.
I'm astonished at how it could just disappear. Surely you would know.
Powerful spells, I think. Although James here doesn't seem to put any credence in the supernatural, much to his detriment, I think the sarcophagus was moved by powerful occult forces. You see James just like shaking his head. He's like, ludicrous. Everyone knows that there's a network of tunnels under the pyramids. There must have been another secret entrance that they managed to slide the sarcophagus into. It's like, we're not going to believe in mumbo jumbo. In fact, police have recently discovered, when they were searching, they've recently discovered a network, entrance to a network of tunnels under the pyramids. Oh. So that corroborates my theory, and if I wasn't stuck here in the middle of nowhere doing God knows what, and I was actually back in Giza, I would be able to corroborate my research. Instead, here I am. Outrageous. I don't know what I'm doing here. He's like super grumpy. Yes, well, powerful magic, I think. I mean, it was a big box, wasn't it?
From what I've heard, yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm curious about these tunnels now.
Oh.
Are there tunnels around here?
Oh, I don't know what we're doing here, to be honest. I think it has something to do with the time being right, and that strange fellow that we saw poking around here with Dr. Clive. Some local bigwig. Very, very, very dark aura on the man. Very dark aura indeed. Something's happening.
Did he look like?
Did he?
What did this strange man look like? Did he have a name?
I didn't get introduced. I took one look at that aura and I kind of stayed away. He came with a retinue of people. Seemed to be well known. Created quite a kerfuffle. A lot of people seemed fairly afraid of him. And then left. Even Dr. Clive, who is usually loves to do a bit of a power play and show he's the biggest ego in the room, was a little bit subservient, which was nice to see. Actually, it was nice to see.
Very interesting.
Anyway, back to the mummy. Yeah, so we know some things, don't we? We know that the mummy was identified positively as Queen Nitocris. We know that, don't we? The scrolls.
Say yes.
Yeah, indeed. So then the question begs itself: why does everyone deny the fact that they had the scrolls? It's all a bit strange, if you ask me.
Who's denying? Who can we speak to?
Well, everyone in charge at this, and you see James kind of go, well, everyone's changed the tune, apparently. The scrolls that we found in perfect condition succumbed to some kind of atmospheric disturbance and fell to pieces. I don't buy it. The scrolls don't just fall to pieces like that.
I turned to Ashley and kind of look at him like, as if to, when that look that you give people with the eyes when you hear something that's a bit on the nose, like if that resonates with him at all. Right. So there's no more scrolls then?
Apparently not. Apparently not.
And what is currently going on in the dig outside? Some sort of big kerfuffle, something fell and everyone's hurrying around. What have you found down there? What are you digging out?
Well, not entirely. She turns to James. I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure why we're here, to be honest. And James is like, oh, it's a bloody waste of time if you ask me. There's no reason we had to leave Giza. She's like, I think they're preparing. I think they're going to bring her back. There was a powerful aura around that sarcophagus. There was something desperate to come back into our waking world. I think they're going to bring her back.
When do you think this could happen?
Well, I've done some calculations, and I've done some, and they consult me quite a lot on these matters about, like, when would be the right time to do such a arcane ritual. There's a lot of it's rather out of my depth, but it seems to me that when the moon is at its lowest ebb would be the right time to perform a ritual of this magnitude. Provided, of course, you had the body, which they do, and I had dreams about some strange items.
They do have the body.
And there was
Which item?
There was a man, an old man, and he was chopping at something with a beautiful silver sword, and in a room full of smoke. It was such a strange dream. I can't quite put the pieces together.
I think we should be talking to Kirby, get him up to speed on this lady's revelations and what's happening.
Oh. And suddenly she like jerks, and she like tears begin to roll down her eyes, her face, and she's like, "Oh, Mary. Oh, Mary, you weren't supposed to die. It was supposed to be the start of our family, Mary." And she just like starts weeping.
Who's Mary? What are you on about?
You remember someone in your party used to be married to Mary, and someone's wife died in childbirth. Dr. Dibden.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
It's in your notes.
I'm action.
Exactly. But the others would
no
know.
one said
The others
anything
would
about him. I don't know Scott.
Yeah. And she's just like bereft for a period, and you can
Put
see
yourself together, old lady.
James is just like rolling his eyes, going, "She does this from time to time. Just let it pass." And then she's right as
try
rain.
and do it? Well, can I have a So the new moon would be. Is that the new moon? Like when it's the opposite of a full moon, when it's just someone's ebb?
Yeah. So the dark, you wouldn't know it as well as the dark of the moon. You've seen rituals performed at a similar time.
Would I know? Is it realistic that I would know the cycle of the moon, like when a full moon is?
You tell me.
Then?
Would that be something of Shin would know, pay attention to?
Probably. Like what nights to go out breaking into people's houses are the nights with no full moon.
I like it.
If you were into that kind of thing.
You've convinced me that as a thief, you'd want to know when the dark times are.
I'm not a thief. I'm an adventurer. Thank you very much.
An adventurer who likes pretty things. Fair.
Sometimes I like other people's things more than they like them.
Indeed.
So I take them.
Indeed. And the world's all about sharing. You would know that it's imminent, like within the next day or so.
Oh, dang.
It is soon.
Can I dominate James?
Tell me more.
This lady doesn't seem like she's in the right frame of mind to really see this. I'm going to be like, where is the money?
So you're going to cast.
Tell me where this money.
You're going to cast the spell.
Yeah.
All right. So it has a sanity point and magic point cost. So do that, and then give me a power roll.
Oops, I did the wrong thing. Sanity is 82? No, I did it again. 82. Magic is 15. Do a power roll. Sim salabim.
So you got a regular success. Let's have a
Correct.
look at. Let's have a look what.
Tell me of the mummy.
A regular success and a regular success. And so the other person doesn't fail, I would say, with an equal amount of success on this. You see James kind of start a bit, and he's like, I've told you about the mummy. The mummy was what we believe to be Queen Nitocris. We found her in a newly revealed burial chamber, one that had been previously undiscovered. There was a huge media sensation and storm around the, not since Tutankhamun has such a fuss been made. We're all going to be exceptionally well known, well published, well regarded amongst academic circles. And then the mummy was stolen and taken into, I believe, the tunnels. That's really all I know. I'm as confused as anyone as to why the identity is being denied and why we are here. There was no reason I believe that we needed to leave. I'm not sure what we're doing here.
Cool, I'll play it cool.
Hmm.
I didn't just try and dominate his mind.
Okay.
And sort of, I'll bode and like pull at my mustachios or something like that. Brood.
Before we go back to Kirby, Agatha leans forward and she's recovered now, and she's like, I am a little worried. I do think that my life and that of Dr. Gardner here are in danger. We are officially part of this expedition, and I feel I need to see this through. For if there is actually resurrection going to happen, it could spell disaster for the people of Egypt. But I do worry. I do think that we are in terrible danger. I cannot shake the feeling. Do you have the same feeling, Tom? Do you feel you're in danger?
Constantly.
Yes, you've seen a lot. And let's flash back to Dr. Clive talking to Kirby back in the big tent. You were telling me about previous digs you've been on. As an academic of Egyptian science and history, I'm most fascinated. What was the last dig you on, Dr. Kirby? Dr. Algernon.
Algernon. So what I'm going to do for reference, I gave him false information, Stuart.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, possibly because Kirby was actually in Harvard.
Okay.
Yeah. So just for reference, I'm trying to put something that will require him time to figure out if it's wrong or right, hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
Just for reference. I will share that, but the story in Africa. I'll start sharing details. It's going to be the last major one, so I'm going to share details of what happened, what we found, roughly in the heart, the jungle, the rhythm.
So you're going to be fairly open. You're going to be fairly open with him about.
Yes, because he can't trace back necessarily because it was never published.
Mm-hmm.
So I can trace details to entice his interest and show credentials, but I don't want him to tie back to Kirby specifically. So that's why I'm going this long route. So
When you
I
were,
believe I have
when you were
found.
telling
Oh,
him
mhm.
the incorrect stuff, the stuff to throw him off the scent, do you think that I'm curious to see whether he believes you, and I'm trying to figure out, like, is there a deception type role?
It's
It's more of a
that's the
persuade, isn't
thing
it?
in a way because
Mm.
I'm not really being deceptive in the sense of I just gave one wrong information that throws everything off
Mm.
because it's my name, but everything else is kind of true. So my name in university. So I'm giving him a true account.
Okay.
So it can be persuaded in a normal conversation,
Mm.
hypothetically.
Okay. Just give me a roll. Let's see how sort of persuasive you are.
Not very much, it seems,
Okay.
but I'm not,
Now you're peppering stuff in here and there. He's still getting to know you. You
mhm,
can see he's sort of like holding back a bit.
yeah.
That was some years
But
ago, but recently, where have you come from? Like,
uh,
what put you to end up in the middle of nowhere? I'm curious. I'm
it's
curious.
not.
It's a long way to come.
Egypt is not the middle of nowhere. I will disagree on that,
Mm-hmm.
but I understand your point. As I said, I came here as a tourist, and I barely intended to remain away from any scholarship pursuits other than seeing the pyramids, seeing the sites, experience things. These things a bit different because I don't know if it's the same with you, Dr. Clive, but what I noticed that we tend to get focused in on our areas of speciality. Egypt is not one of mine, I
Mm.
have to admit. So I've studied Africa as in the other part of the continent for so long, and Egypt is in itself is a field that I thought it was I have to admit I thought it was everything that was to be found was kind of already there. There's so many people, or there were so many digs over the years. So I came here as a tourist.
Well, if it's sightseeing
And
you're
if
after, Doctor Elganon, I would suggest the newly discovered room, the burial chamber that we found.
oh
I think you can get access to that now. I think it is open to the public under police jurisdiction, but that would be worth seeing.
it is on my list, but
Oh,
as I said, the reason I ended up here is you actually found something new, and
indeed.
as remarkable as it was, you also, pardon my frankness, don't want to say you lost, but you also lost something new. And I figure that despite my better judgment of trying to stay away, so I came to try and offer any services that I can to aid you there if you need it, but looks like you don't. But I felt that if I didn't offer, it
No,
wouldn't be
nothing to be
correct on
done.
my part.
I uh, I do I do rue the fact that such a theft occurred, and the very sort of fame and renown that we were looking for as part of this expedition was taken from us. We we seek more humble fare. This over here, there's not a. I'm not even sure it will reveal much. To be honest, we're going on rumors and partially excavated stonework that lead us to suspect there's something here, but we're really just kind of biding our time, I personally am hoping that we can resolve these matters and issues with the Egyptian government, and we can get our permits restored, and we can continue the work that we were doing. It would be nice to get back to would be nice to get back to Giza.
I see. I see. Well, if you have needs of my services, please do let me know. I'll give him,
Oh,
let's see, an address of one of the hotels, I guess, in Cairo, something
okay.
like that. I might be traveling, just leaving on the desk, and
Oh,
I'll come if needed. But I and don't worry, as I said, this is a leisure trip. I'm not even going to ask what you're after here because I'm actually intrigued and I want to hear when it comes out. But I'm hoping
indeed.
that
Well,
you do find the mummy again. That such a new thing, and in my lifetime, still.
Indeed. Look, thank you for coming. I'm sorry we couldn't. I'm sorry we couldn't provide more academic stimulation for a man of your standing, but by all means, stop by again. And it was lovely to meet you. And you're certainly looking much better than when you came into my tent. I think the cucumber water does wonders, doesn't it?
Oh yes, I have to thank you for it. As I said, I'm not that young anymore, but I wasn't expecting to fall for a heat stroke. Maybe, as I said, things are a bit different here in Egypt.
All right, Dr. Elganon, if you don't mind, unfortunately, research doesn't do itself.
I know I have taken enough of your time, but
You-
as I said, if you need, bear in mind.
Thank you. Yes,
here,
indeed,
but-
indeed. I think we're okay. We have a number of renowned archaeologists who work for us, not like that buffoon who we let go and who I can't believe is back again. But I think we'll be okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, he is quite a character, isn't he?
Hmm.
A little bit. What's the word that I can?
Drunk is the word that comes to mind. Do you know he got into one of the crates when we
What?
when we opened up one of the crates to celebrate the discovery? He had been into whiskey that I had brought from Scotland directly, and half the bottle was missing. I cannot believe it. Drunken buffoon. The world's better off without him.
That's so
Please,
precious.
please take him with you when you leave.
Yeah, he did seem very keen to join, to come over. But yes, we do our best. He is. Well, I'll go with the word character for the
Indeed.
time being. But yes,
Your
your
friends
assessment seems to be correct.
friends should still be outside. I'm sure they're still walking around with Martin. But yeah, good to meet you. And he shakes your hand and holds the
Likewise.
tent flap open for you to leave.
Thank you very much. It's been an honor, and
Farewell.
hopefully you find the mummy, and I'll get to see it before I go home to my home country.
That would be wonderful. Hopefully, if they find the mummy, they'll invite us back. Wouldn't that be nice?
Indeed.
Indeed. Well, good day to you, sir.
All right.
And so you find yourself out in the middle of the scorching desert again, and there's not a trace of the others. You start sort of ambling through the camp looking for someone. Back to Perry and Afshin. Is there anything else you want to ask these two?
I would like Agatha. I don't know. I'd encourage her to come with us to talk to our old man friend and share her thoughts.
Our own queen.
Let's go on our ship.
Did I like I did I mishear before? But I thought that the lady, in one of her passions that overtook her, said that the mummy was actually here somewhere. Did I mishear that?
She said she's got the body.
She said they've got the body. Maybe not us. That's what I was trying to explore the second time I asked her.
She led
she's
you
very
to believe
suspicious.
that someone took the body using powerful sorcery.
And yet they're preparing the place. They're preparing somewhere here. This is what all the digging is about for that resurrection, or
Are you going to ask her that?
that's what I suspect I heard her say before.
No, dear. I don't believe the mummy is here. I think this is all just one big red herring to buy time. I certainly do not see them doing anything of importance out there, apart from moving some rocks about. But no, there's something else at play here. I see her still at the pyramids.
Mm.
And Duck James is like, yeah, she's taken into the tunnels under the pyramids. I'm sure of it. I think she's still there. You hear Kirby sort of calling out in the distance. Tom,
Poke my head out through the flap.
Ah,
Yeah, I'll just have a look of consternation on
You
my
see
face. Thank you for
Kirby's-
the tea. Thank you for the bickies.
oh,
It
and
was a pleasure, Your Majesty.
oh, thank you. I'm no royalty. That's so funny. And dear, I would love to leave this place, but my dice have been rolled, so to speak. I have a part to play in this. I'm not sure what that part is, but I need to see it through. I hope you understand and are not too disappointed I can't come with you.
It would be pretty weird.
Yeah, well, wasn't suggesting she'd come with us, but just
Crash their party and steal their women. Would be not cool.
just to have another chat to our old man.
Kirby, you're intercepted by a ruddy-faced Martin Winfield who looks none too pleased. He's like, where is everyone? Starts,
Hello,
like,
I'm on
looking around.
mute. It's like, oh, hello, Mr. Wingfield, I believe. I'm looking. I was about to ask you this. About to ask you that. Where are my companions?
Oh, I left them here a minute ago. I had to go deal with some buffoons.
Oh,
Are they within earshot of us in the tent?
You can hear some talking. Maybe you not hear too much, but certainly you can hear Kirby talking to someone.
I just bundle my way out of the flat.
oh. Just had
Just,
a lovely chat with Mr. Clive. What an interesting man.
Indeed. Sorry, I lots to do. And he kind of sees you bustle out of the tent, sort of followed by Agatha and James. And Kirby, give me a psychology roll.
Yeah.
Oh. If that succeeds, I'm going to laugh. No.
He looks momentarily aggravated, and he's like, you hear him mutter something under his breath, something along the lines of, just go meandering about, and sort of walks up, and he's like, I see you've met some of our resident archaeologists. James, what's going on here? James is like, just interested people talking about the dig, but you can see he kind of says it in a way that, like he's the kid with his hand in the cookie jar. Agatha's like, dear, don't be so rude to the guests. And you can see this really irks him. Like, Martin, this really irks him. He's like, gentlemen, I think your time here is at an end. Thank you for visiting. Appreciate you coming all the way out, but now please, I do kindly request that you be on your way and enjoy the rest of the sights Egypt has to offer, if you don't mind. And he sort of gestures towards the road that you came in on.
I'm going to pretend I didn't notice that and say thank you very much for your time, and please do reinforce my wishes and ask for an offer to Dr. Clive if needed to be.
He's already walking off. He's kind of nodded his head.
I hold his hand. I am holding his hand.
What are you doing? Please do not touch me. I do not like to be touched. I'm sorry. It's a personal thing.
Oh, sorry. That's interesting. Back where I come from, we usually have a firm handshake, but that's okay. I understand you. See you.
Good, thank you.
Sorry,
James, walk with me, please.
Question for you, Stuart.
Mm.
Did I actually touch him? Did I feel anything weird or not?
Just
like
a
clammy
sort of
hands, like very cold?
clammy hand, I would say. Probably cooler than you'd have expected, but quite clammy. He's like, James, walk with me. And you see James is like, oh, crap. And he sort of falls in beside Winfield, and they sort of walk back up towards Clive Henry's tent. And Agatha's like, you best be going now, dears.
Yeah. Oh, and you are? Apologies. I'm Dr. Algernon.
Oh,
Yes.
that's funny. You're still using your alias. Yes, indeed. Oh, Dr. Kirby, you are so funny. She shakes your hand.
Perry's just shaking his head in the background.
I'm looking at the other two and like, what just happened?
You're not a spring chicken, you know. You really need to stop hitting dangerous things with your funny little stick. A man of your distinguished age should take up more of a ranged defense, maybe.
I see. I understand. And yes, it hasn't been quite as effective as it used to be when I was younger. My stick, I understand that. When I'm not that old, I can still carry my stick forward, but I'll take your advice. Thank you very much.
She takes your hand. Lovely. And as she touches your hand, she like recoils. She's like, oh, Dr. Kirby, there is a darkness to your aura. You've been touched by something. Oh.
I'll seem scared. There's going to be a reaction. Okay. What do you mean?
You might want to get that seen to, spiritually speaking.
To who?
Oh,
Sorry, what?
Just a flicker. I caught just a flicker. Oh, no, never mind me. What do I know? Gentlemen, it's been lovely. It's been lovely making your acquaintance, and I do feel we are going to meet again fairly soon.
All right, thank you for the Vicky.
Dr. Kirby, I feel you need to look to the darkness. I don't know what that means.
Huh. I will. Thank you.
It's quite all right, dear. I'm sorry I couldn't give you any biscuits like the others. There's a special recipe that I brought that's been handed down to me, and yeah. But good day, gentlemen. Goodbye. You best be going now. Time is running out. Tick-tock.
Okay. So I guess we move out, and I will use the time to ask when we're out of earshot, like, what the fuck?
I explain the revelations of the crazy lady.
Remember that I actually lost the revelations of the crazy lady because I was taking care of little Sauron over there. So, but I can take in writing, so it doesn't take much of timing for the future archaeologists of Stuhl's recording to go over this again.
So you're walking down this dusty, windy road in the middle of nowhere in the baking heat.
I'm going to be seeing more concerned as well, just so you know, because I haven't talked to anyone about this. I'm in denial about this thing that might have happened. I don't know what it is.
She felt something there. It is probably a half-hour walk back down to the river to where you left your boat. The road is more of a track sort of between the dunes. The last thing you notice as you pass out of the sort of the boom gates that are across the road is you look back up towards the tents and you see three figures standing watching you depart. The silhouettes are fairly clear. It looks to be, you think, Dr. Clive Henry, Martin Winfield, and James Gardner sort of standing up on a ridge, kind of watching you walk away.
I'm pretending I'm going to be leaning on the fragile thing, even though I'm not that old, but more like leaning on my cane, with the heat stroke, trying to get the others to assist. So just to
Yeah,
make
you're
it clear.
playing it up. The wind starts to pick up. So first a gust. It's blowing sort of stinging sand against you. Out of nowhere, blue skies, but this wind picks up. And not more than 20 paces in, it has become a veritable torrent. Sand is just blowing in your eyes. You have to pull your shirts up to kind of protect your face from the stinging sand. The road in front of you is literally all but obscured as the wind and the sand just pelt you from all angles. It's the weirdest thing because it's not associated with sort of dark clouds and things that you'd expect from a traditional sandstorm, but like this wind has come out of nowhere and it is absolutely hammering you, and you're kind of getting turned around a bit. Is the road this way, or is that... You can't quite be sure. You catch glimpse, though, of a silhouette standing perfectly still in the middle of this whipping sand, not 20 paces from you. Doesn't appear to be moving. The three of you huddle with your clothes pulled up against the stinging wind, and the figure just appears to be standing dead still.
Can I walk towards it, please? Struggle to walk
You
towards
can after a tea break. Let's take a quick break here and come
Okay.
back. And then you can tell
Remember,
me.
don't turn off your camera because it breaks up still zero.
Watch this. Leave the cameras on, but watch this.
it.
Da, 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 da.
back.
Make sure I'm not muted. Can you hear me clearly?
Yep, I can. Can you hear me alright?
Doesn't sound muffled. Yeah.
Alright. You can hear the effects in the background?
Yeah, like the wind.
Yeah, the wind and stuff.
Yeah. I was I had the buds in when I was in the bathroom. I'm like, what the hell?
Where's that wind coming from?
And then I realised, oh, it was on my head. Fantasy ground booted me out.
That's okay. Come back in.
Hey, been a busy boy, Mr. Forsyth.
It's working alright.
Got quite the professional looking setup there. With the running their windows.
It's all initial tentative steps. But the interface, the OBS interface is making a lot more sense to me. Sort of inputs and outputs.
It takes a while to get
Yeah.
your head around. But
Once it clicks. It's actually kind of easy to understand. It'd be nice if I can just get the sharing of you guys as something that's easy to do. It doesn't require sort of lots of heavy lifting every session, but if it does, it does. This works as well. And the nice thing is this is linked to the Hack RPG Twitch account. So if at some point we want to do some live streaming, give that a try, it's literally just click one button here and it'll stream this.
Oh, nice.
So that's pretty
Cool. Well, if you need to get yourself on these then.
Oh, cool. Is that like Switch?
Stream Deck.
Oh, that's
Stream Deck.
Oh, nice.
Stream Deck.
Oh, cool.
Oh, but
Yeah,
just so you guys are aware,
program all your buttons.
Ah, yeah, that's cool.
Your domain is under threat. Your top level domain.
Oh, there's so much money in the .io.
No, it's under threat because it's no longer going to potentially no longer going to exist.
Yeah, I know. That's okay. I'll change it to .ai. AI super like. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you're immediately going to get some AI bros to join.
I'm still thinking of the. I mean, I've like done a lot of my publishing under this brand. But we'll see. We'll see if it sticks around.
Yeah, but as I said, the IO thing is because the IO domains from the Indian Ocean, which is being given back to the people. So from what I heard on the news recently, the IO is because of the country or the region, colonialism, and the British kicked people out to give the Americans a base.
Yeah.
And the British were just collecting the money for the IO domain. Now the actual people want the domain, but they don't exist, so we'll see.
Well, look, as I said, I think there's a lot of money invested in .io accounts and sites.
Yeah, it's a good TLD.
It's awesome. It's awesome. All right, so everyone ready to jump back in? So you see this the strange figure, and I'll say from where you are, maybe it's the way the wind's shimmering and shifting, but it looks almost out of proportion. It's almost like the head is too big and the body is too thin.
I wanted to get when I'm closer to it. I'm going to try and strike it with my sword.
You get within a couple of paces, and as you approach, sort of maybe a break in the wind allows you to see a little bit more clearly. It is fairly deformed. You catch a glimpse of like a large head and like large eyes and a scrawny, thin, slightly slouching body, the arms appear almost too long on the end and in hands that seem too big. And it looks like it's just stepped out of the desert. It's not wearing any clothes, and its skin is kind of crusted, almost as though it's made out of sand. It looks like sand and rock and pebbles and things. And it's just standing dead still, watching you approach.
I'm going to try and strike it with my.
So you're going to go up and you're going to pull out your sword and you're going to try and hit it.
That's right.
All right. What do the other two do? You see Afshin
I'm going to call him.
off.
I'm going to call Afshin. Come back, Afshin. Come back. Come back.
Just get the gun ready.
Let's go back to the camp. Don't go into the storm. No. Just don't.
Yeah. Gun ready, but yelling out Shin to come back.
All right. So, Afshin, you stride up, and it sees you approach, and there's almost like a little bit of a lull close to where it is, almost as the storm is surrounding it. And it raises its hands, and you see there are almost like obsidian knives that protrude from its fingertips, like sharp, glittery, black claws. And you come in swinging with the sword, perhaps emboldened by the fact that you have this relic. Make an attack roll. The creature.
Oh, I'm terrible with this one.
The creature is going to try and sidestep.
Gotcha. I have to jump back into the campaign because somehow I had.
Okay, jump back in.
I'm attempting to resolve connection.
So while you're doing that, the other two see Afshin whip out his sword. Maybe the sword, glitters in what little sunlight is left in this middle of this howling torrent of sand. But it's clear what he's doing. It's clear he's off alone, and he's just going to attack something that you haven't seen yet. Afshin, when you get in, before you attack, I want you to give me a sanity roll, please.
We haven't seen anything.
You've seen a figure, and you've seen Afshin sort of head off to strike it, but you're not close enough yet. If I'm reading what you're doing correctly, you haven't approached. You've let your friend go forward alone.
No, we're moving
okay.
forward with
You're
him,
moving
calling
with
him
him.
back.
Okay.
No? Yes, calling him back,
All right.
but not.
Do either of you
rushing,
try
so
and
we're just calling
restrain him and stop him, or do you allow him to attack?
We are. I'm not sure if I can.
What are you doing? Sort of thing.
No, I'm gonna try. I'm like, this is amazing. I've got this. This sort of has the ability to send these things way back to wherever they came from to slay them. I mean, I've got to do it.
Barry, hold him. Hold him down,
No,
Barry.
don't do any of that. That's no fun.
I'll rush up to him to try and sort of put my arm on his arm to kind of snap him out of it.
I'm weakened, so I'll try to.
Oh yeah, hold yourself up, old man.
Yeah.
Afshin,
I'm not that old.
Afshin, you are committed to this course of action.
If these guys are trying to hold me back, then maybe I won't do anything.
I'm kind of
really
trying to grab his arm. Like, what are you doing, man? Get a grip.
Why is this? I'm just yelling in Arabic at the monster thing, the creature.
Is it doing anything still, or is it just standing?
It's standing, but the approach has kind of made it come out of whatever it was doing, and it opens its mouth, and there's this like guttural. You can think about rocks kind of being crushed. It's a sound that sounds like this, and it kind of hunches down, and it raises its claws, and it moves forward towards you. Afshin, you're up.
I'm gonna swing the sword as hard as I can.
Start shopping.
All right, this creature is going to try and sidestep the incoming attack. Did everyone, the first thing, give me a sanity roll, please. Everyone has seen this creature. Nice, Afshin. Oh, extreme success. Nice.
Look at everybody's
Hard
laying
success.
hands.
Alright. Everyone manages. You've seen a lot of weird stuff. No one takes any sanity damage. This is just yet another crazy thing you've encountered. Alright, Afshin, give me your attack roll.
Dear Afshin, you're not very good at sword fighting. Oh, I got a thing for fast talk. Yeah, got a thing next to that. Sword fighting and... Oh, so close.
Alright.
Nope, missed.
You missed. As your blade kind of comes down, the creature just manages to move, maybe with the wind. Maybe a gust knocked you. Your attack misses. It's getting ready. You can see it's getting ready to plunge those knives into your shin. But before it does that, our friend Tom has an action. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna blast away.
Alright, what are you doing? Single shot? Triple shot?
Ah. Get a triple
Three.
shot. So what's
Okay.
that? +2.
Triple shot, so
Okay.
all with a penalty.
So 1 penalty or 2 penalties?
If you're doing 3 shots, it's a penalty on each shot.
Okay.
Bam!
This shot failed.
It goes wide.
Ooh.
Oh!
Cop that.
You see the bullet punch into
Can I make
this
it a hard
creature.
success?
Sure.
I'll make it a hard success. One more. Get that. Okay, and lucky draft.
Another one.
Regular success.
Whoa.
One
Alright,
hard
so
success, one regular.
2 of the bullets hit true. 1 of them goes wide. Roll 2 times damage. Let's see what we see.
8 and 5. 13.
Creature kind of staggers, but is still coming forward. And it comes. And it is on you, Afshin. You fend it away with your sword. And it comes in for 2
You're affected by
attacks.
the
One
sword?
for each. One for each. Alright.
4.
The first one is a success. The second claw is a fail.
We can see what your rolls are on the stream.
That's alright. 9 points of slashing damage as these knives sink into your flesh and you just feel this cold obsidian slice you open.
There's just this, like, I'm just gibbed. And, like, his head's just, like, spinning around.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just, like, Afshin's absolutely just blown to pieces. He's got 8
The Afshin, is Afshin still standing? Is he dead?
No, he's dead, man.
He's dead, Jim.
8? Do you only have 8 hit points?
Not anymore.
Roll?
Yeah.
I think
What's
it's
his
fine.
name? You only need
Yeah.
one.
There's a splash of red on the sand, and Afshin kind of crumples
R.I.P.
to the ground.
Wow.
What are the rounds?
Kirby, you're up. What are you doing?
I was hoping to use the mythical mists in front of us and pull Afshin out.
He still can. This won't be in one piece.
Speak.
You pull him out piece by piece.
Well, everything is happening at once, so I am assuming I'm casting the spell on the creature, roughly, whatever it is.
Now remember, you're in the middle of a
Yeah.
windstorm.
I know. So do you think is going to dispel the fog? I don't know. What the fuck can I do at this point? I'm going to try to cast it to see if, because I have no idea what the creature is, right? I haven't seen it. I have seen an outline only, right?
You've seen it come now towards you. You can see it clearly, and it just unloaded on Afshin.
Does it look undead?
It looks like something made out of stone and sand. It is unnatural.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you can handle unnatural. Fuck. I could resurrect Afshin, I guess. I don't know if that's a good idea. Potentially.
Afshin can play as a zombie or resurrected.
Sick, that's great. Definitely on my bucket list.
I'm going to try to. Oh, as idiotic as it is, I'm going to try to cast the missing front and see if Perry can pull Afshin, or if you can pull Afshin and get away.
Okay. So pay the penalty.
What is the penalty?
I don't know. You tell me. It's in your character sheet. It'll have a magic point cost and stuff.
I just say 2 magic points. That's all. That's what it says.
So you raise your hand, and the smoke billows forth, and virtually instantly it's just whipped away in the wind.
Okay, so it was, well. Hey, that's a movie scene right there.
Yeah, it just whipped away. Just the smoke goes. Afshin is down. Perry, your turn.
Alright, he's proper dead. No point trying to drag him away, I'm assuming. So,
Don't know, you just saw him go down. He's not moving.
was he right? Obviously he was right next to me.
Yeah, so the creature's like sunk its claws into his chest. Like those knives just sunk right in. And it's kind of pulling them out, and it looks like it's going to potentially come your way next.
If I'm close enough, can I stick my gun right up against his head and just point blank fire?
Sure.
If I'm close enough. So, am I assuming that's an instant hit, or do I need to roll to make sure I can do that?
You got to roll because the gun could misfire, and in the panic, maybe you don't hit it. Maybe your gun goes off too soon. You don't know. Single shot. I'll give you I'd normally require you to have a disadvantage because of the whipping wind, but because you're so close, I'll let you just do a normal roll with your gun. One shot.
Give me a bonus though for putting it up against its head.
I would, but you're also in the middle of a sandstorm, so every time you open your eyes to see, your eyes literally fill up with stinging sand.
Alright, here goes. Single shot, point blank. Oh, you.
The
Throw your
gun.
gun into the storm.
You pull the trigger,
in my hand.
but the sand has got into the trigger mechanism, and you feel something grind, and you feel the trigger lock. You pull, the gun is not going off.
Have I got time to run?
Yeah. Are you gonna try and put some distance between yourself? I'll say you can sort of stumble back.
Yeah, I'll stumble back. Sorry, Afshin. I'm assuming you're dead. You had a head in your chest.
All right. The
Michael,
creature.
I think you're collecting horrible ways to go. Congratulations. What's next for you? Total obliteration?
I'm coming to fuck spiders.
I
No,
did
that's
say
that's too horrible.
I did say the loot and shoot approach is going to get harder as we go on in this campaign.
Action was emboldened, man. He was emboldened.
The creature comes towards. So Perry, you're kind of backing away. Kirby,
Yeah.
you're backing away. The creature would normally get an advantage, but because you're both moving, it's going to come and it's going to try and rake each of you, and it's not going to get the penalties. So, so Perry, it just misses. Literally, you manage to like duck to the side as the hand rakes past you, and same with Kirby. Maybe you fell over in the sand. I'm not sure. That's a pretty bad miss. Maybe it was after Perry and kind of just half-heartedly went at you. But it stops and it looks towards you, Perry. And it seems to forget about Kirby. You injured it. I think it's coming after you next. Alright. Kirby, your turn.
Poke at Kirby with your stick.
It's stone. Stick back.
Forget anyone.
Does Kirby have a
Do something.
did Kirby listen to Ruby about maybe carrying a firearm?
I learned in UK I was carrying a shotgun,
Oh.
but not here.
Well, these are all learning moments.
No.
These are all
No,
learning
actually, I
moments.
have. Actually, no, I lie. I have a 41.
Kirby puts aside his early onset dementia and remembers there's a gun in his pocket.
Well, I'm going to aim and shoot.
What's
That's what
this
I can do.
doing in my pocket? Who left that there?
That's peculiar.
So remember, we have to get rid of the guns when you join God Unity. There's a bunch of stuff going on. But yes, I'm going to have to aim and shoot. That's all I can do. Can I? I know things are messy. Can I? No, I'm going to shoot. What the fuck can I do? If after Perry is going to go after me
One
anyway.
shot or 3 shots?
I'm going to go one shot because my skill is low. So if I try 3 shots, it's going to be too hard.
Alright, so just with a straight penalty for the stinging wind.
What is the penalty? Is just like makes it hard? What is the?
Yeah, so just click the +1p. I've done it, and do your roll.
Take 4. That you bitches.
Whoa! That's so good! Alright. A hard success. How far are you from an extreme?
I don't have any luck to spend anyway. I have 4 luck, so
Max damage would be great, but give me a roll.
I have 4. Ooh.
Nice! Nice. Another one strikes at dead center. Creature staggers, and then it lunges forward towards Perry. It is now Perry's turn. You see this creature coming at you. You see these red, dripping, black encrusted knives are out, and it's reaching for you. What do you do?
Can't run. Gotta shoot. And if we're counting bullets,
Don't you have a
machine.
revolver?
Yeah, you could run. I mean, we can enter into a bit of a chase situation. Yeah, you're running in sand.
yeah, not good.
Do you want to turn and run?
I don't think I won't make it.
Give it a go.
You don't run. Come on.
Now, were we tracking bullets as well? Double checking.
So
You want to do economics or do you want to do slaying, broker?
No, just making sure whether I've got 2 or 3 left. If we're tracking it doing it properly, then I've got 2 bullets.
yeah.
in my gun.
So you got 2 bullets in your gun, and you got a trigger mechanism that's jammed.
Yeah. Oh,
That's the weapon. No,
It's,
Yeah,
it's going to
I'm
take some maintenance or some kind of a hard mechanical repair roll as your action to try and unjam the trigger mechanism.
I can either leg it or I can
Or you can
lunge
grab-
for it with
grab-
Mary.
You can grab the magic sword.
Yeah, I'll do that. Make Ravi's
Are you,
full.
Yeah.
are you any good at that?
Why not?
So there we go.
Alright, so you're going to turn, and you're going to try and dodge past it
Yep.
to get to the
I love daring do.
all right, that's fine. So you're gonna run past. You're gonna try and run past it. Give me what's your movement?
7.
This creature has a movement of 8, so it moves faster than you. Thematically, I like this. What you do is you sidestep and you make a run for the corpse. You see the creature lunge at you, and it's almost like a human being diving into water. It dives into the sand, vanishes. You run to the corpse, you sprint, you slide, you grab the sword, and as you grab the sword, you see hands start to come out of the sand next to you as it pulls itself out of the sand close
what's
to
up?
you. What I'm going to
You
do...
hear a whisper on the wind that says, "Baby."
What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the Sword of Akmala, Tom. That's now in your inventory.
He-Man moment.
Okay.
Can't be only one.
It's going to make a half-hearted swipe at you as it comes out. Only going to get 1 attack this round. As it comes out, it's going to try and swipe at you. I'm going to say it's a standard roll. He doesn't get the normal advantage he has from the sand effect he's created.
Yep.
So here we... Oh, sorry, that was with... that was with penalty, so a regular success with penalty. So as it comes up, you feel these like razor obsidian knives kind of slice into your thigh as you struggle to get up to the ground as it pulls itself up out of the ground. 5 points
You
of
got
damage.
Motley Crue pants on now.
Kirby, you're watching all this unfold. What are you doing?
I'm going to try to shoot again.
1 shot or 3 shots?
1 shot.
Are
very good
you
at
getting
this.
up close to do away with the advantage?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to sort
At
of
this
rush
point, I
up,
can do.
back of the head
Yep.
type stuff, standard single shot. Give me a roll. Back
Regular
of the
success.
head. Bang. Give me a roll.
Not bad, old man. Not bad.
That's already 1 1/3 FG. If you count in total damage.
Yeah. The bullet glances off its head. You see it knock chunks of looks like crystal out of its head. But it's still coming. Tom, it's pulling itself out of the ground. It's kind of clawing itself up out of the ground towards you. You have the sword.
With the sword.
Okay, you're right there. It's hard
Into
to
the top of its head.
You don't have a penalty because you're right there. Negates the sandstorm damage. You know exactly what you're hitting. Hit true.
Right, so what am I rolling? I can't...
We're finding sword.
Yeah, it said it's equipped, but there's no stats for it.
You probably don't have a skill for that. So you will roll your standard fighting brawl.
Oh, you punchback.
Is that pushable or luckable?
It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Can I
Oh,
push
you
it?
can't push a combat roll. You have to spend luck. Sorry. You have luck to burn?
I do. I'm gonna burn it because I don't want to. I don't want to die.
Remember, if you die, the luck unspent is just like unused.
Alright. So the
Just a throb.
the
That's
creature is going to
20.
make another attack at you in response. So let's see how it does.
He doesn't get to do the damage on it.
Fails. Alright, no. So we just have to see whether it's higher.
yeah.
Okay. So if you luck it, you hit.
Yep. And then what is that maximum damage? What's the damage on that sword?
So if you
On
go,
normal fighting brawl damage.
Sword of Ankmala is 1d8 plus 1 plus db.
DB is the holy power, the holy light.
So your db is, you got to build 1, 2,
1d4.
db is 1d4. So it's 1d8 plus 1 plus 1d4 damage.
That's a nice.
Okay, 1d8
7.
Nice.
plus 1 is 8 plus 1d4. Here's my d4. 10.
So literally as you're falling backwards, you just lash out with the sword. Pwah! And it goes clean through the neck. The neck kind, you see the head kind of spin, glittering, and literally the sandstorm ends. The sand just goes to the ground. And you're just like sitting there, bleeding in the sand, covered in dust, got grit in your nose, in your eyes, in your ears, in your mouth. You see Afshin is lying, bleeding. If one of you can give me a hard first aid roll, you can save Afshin's life.
What happened?
By literally grabbing the artery and stopping the bleeding. It was meant to be. You both just jump on him. You literally just like plugging, like the person
Temper
plugging.
Back
You're just
on,
plugging the
throw it
holes.
back on the right way.
Tourniquet belts. And
Pokers on his back. In his
I'm
head.
gonna say with 2 extreme successes, Afshin, you stabilize on 1 HP and you're unconscious in the
That's
desert.
all you need.
I reach out of the other.
You literally, as you're leaving, you just feel something grab you and pull you back down into pain and the taste of sand and grit. And we'll leave it there for tonight to see how you make your escape.
Very good.
I thought we were all going to die.
I thought it was bold to go head first. I was like, oh my god, again.
2 extreme successes on first aid. Oh my god, that is incredible. What a cinematic experience. Fantastic.
Stitched them back together.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Yeah.
make this shit up.
I was already studying, seeing what would happen if I resurrect Afshin. Will he loses some sanity, but will he go nuts? Will he rot?
That'd be amazing.
I just love everyone's reaction after the roll.
You couldn't have planned it. I just wanted but 2 extreme successes was enough to pull you back from the brink of. You're pretty messed up. Let's be fair. It's going to take a while to get over this.
And you still have to get over a desert, and clearly we were set up by our friends at the camp, so it's going to be even harder to get out.
So we'll talk during the week about Michael, about what you want to do, maybe for the next couple of episodes, as Afshin recovers. But he's still around.
Oh, we're probably all dead. We've got to find out what happens next.
He's clinging
Just,
to life. Well, I mean, that's part of the problem. You need to get him to sort of medical care pronto, and you're in the middle of the desert, so still.
Or just pack all these holes with sand. It'll congeal and coagulate.
It's sort of like sand scabs everywhere. I love it. Love it. All right. Thanks all. That was fun.
Thanks, dude.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks all.
We'll pick up next Tuesday.
Good session.
Yeah.
Cool. Have a good night. See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.